Hi, I'm Connie Saunders with Foreclosure Freedom Network. I want to go over with you today how to stay in your home by getting your debt-to-income ratio down. It's important to realize when you're going for a loan modification, certain key real estate concepts involved in seeing if you're qualified. One is called debt-to-income ratio. What's interesting about this is that there's two completely different definitions of this term. Both are very important, however. The first is called front-end debt-to-income ratio. And the front end refers to one's first mortgage, or the number one debt on your home. To calculate this one, you have to add your monthly payments for principal, interest, property taxes, and homeowners and hazard or other property insurance, along with any homeowners association fees if you've got an HOA or condo. A short name for this is PITI, Principal, Interest, Taxes, and Insurance, or PITIA with the A added on for the association fees. So once you know the total, then you divide it by your total gross income to get the debt-to-income, front-end debt-to-income ratio. And if it's less than 31%, then actually you're not qualified for a loan modification. You may have other factors that you need to make others aware of to see what your plight is. Be ready with these when you're reporting these figures to your lender, because it's very important that this is legitimate, provable, like illness, unemployment ready to expire, recent demotion, someone's terminal illness, that kind of thing. If you're having trouble thinking with these things, then you likely need some help. We can help you, or you can call your lender and speak with a loss mitigation specialist there. Or you can call the Hope Line, or a certified housing specialist in your neighborhood. We can help you with those contact points, or you can go to www.hud.gov to see some of your options there. Our number is 877-333-4506. Many government-assisted programs help with lender modifying your loan if your front-end debt-to-income is 38% or less, but not lower than 31%. Now, the government-sponsored enterprises leave it up to your lenders to work with you in some way on anything that's in excess of your front-end debt-to-income. So they have to actually do something to get that down. And sometimes they'll take a lump sum out of your loan in order to have less of a principal amount initially to have to do their interest and their other payments against. It does make it more workable payment overall, but you have to be aware that it could mean, depending on what this principal amount is that they've deducted, that could be a much longer period of time to pay it off after that loan's paid back. Once it's deferred, you're not going to be able to sell that home until the market turns around to the point where it can not only pay back the loan that you're doing now, but that later amount. And you may end up having to do a short sale at a later time when it may not be as easy as it is today to do. A lot of loan lenders that are not government sponsored don't even do really loan modifications per se. Many of them will just defray all of the costs that you have been late on to the end, and they'll let you start again. When you have that kind of a lender who's not really negotiating an actual sustainable loan modification for you, it's really important to see somebody else, and at least you can bat these things off of that person and have a witness to this madness if you want to legally take it any further. If a lender stands to receive a greater return on his investment or net present value than if he lets to go this to foreclosure, then I feel it violates the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, of the U.S. Constitution, to not modify a loan if the person has the wherewithal to do something sustainable for the lender as well. So right now, the average Joe has a very difficult time to get a home loan or a refinance. Even an FHA loan is very hard to come by. So as a California realtor, I really can see this all the time. Cash from a buyer really is senior to any other kind of loan buyer. Many times lenders will defer to the cash buyer or allow a much lower priced cash buyer than a higher priced FHA loan. So what happens then is a lot of cash buyers buy up these properties that are in real foreclosure, and then they get renters into those neighborhoods. And now the tenants are renters. And it hits the neighborhoods with a different kind of tenant, and this is across the nation this is happening. Non-homeowner tenants that don't typically take as good care of their property, more domestic violence, more crime, more delinquency, and that then trends towards violating other constitutional rights that we have, Article 4, Section 4, for instance. Um, so many people, another problem is many people that are not qualified for a loan modification that have money feel that they too deserve to get some assistance on their mortgage and shouldn't be left out. But unfortunately, right now, if we were to do this kind of a workout for everybody, the country would go bankrupt. So realize that you can probably get your extra income from just playing the game more proactively today in the real estate market. And, there's lots of spoils to be gotten with cash. So now let's go to the back end or tail end debt to income ratio. To get that, you do your mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, any other second loans, third loans on your property. You also add in credit cards and auto loans and student loans and any other kind of loans that you have. And then you divide that by your gross income to get your back end debt to income percentage. If it's higher than 50%, you're going to have an impossible time to get a refinance or home loan in this day and age. But if you're trying for a loan mod, sometimes they will go with 55%, 60% with a custom evaluation where the negotiator actually does talk with you, or you have more proactive help from the people, the staff that are at the lender, so that you can really detail what your situation is and why your mortgage would be sustainable even though you've got such a high back-end debt-to-income ratio. So you have to realize that those two formulas are being used in many facets of loan modifications. A lot of loss mitigation personnel can also take heed of this information that I'm giving here. A lot of times you get to the end of your calculations on whatever underwriting system you're using and you're scratching your head not knowing what possible solution you can do. It just says not qualified. So realize that you might need to just really get this detailed list of what the debt is, the back end debt, and then talk with them about which back end debt is more important that they can't let go of, and then what they can. And by referring these guys to a credit advisor or credit counselor, you can seriously help them to reduce their debt, because I highly, for instance, recommend an advisor, credit advisors, nonprofit, been in business for over 50 years, and they charge very, very low fees for their monthly processing of your loans. They've already calculated with every lender what the lowest amounts are. With a simple phone call, they can find out what your lower rates would be, and right then and there you could decide beforehand whether or not this is something that would be good for you. Once a card, though, enters this program, you can't use it again, so it's sort of like you have to tear it up. So you have to pick and choose which ones that you're going to do this with, so that you're not letting go of something that's vital, but it seriously can lower your monthly debt. I've seen it go from $3,500 a month down to $500 a month or less. So it can be a significant help. Now on auto loan, this company that we work with don't do that with auto loans, but you can do auto loan workouts yourself, or we could help you with those. Or there are other agencies out there that handle this kind of debt. You have to be very careful and cautious about that. They could charge exorbitant fees, and I've seen this happen. So just make sure that you know what what you're going to have to spend for this, and evaluate it at that point. But give us a call. We can help you evaluate it. Our toll-free number is 877-333-4506. Have a great day.